Hey everybody, it's Ricky with Maricopa Online Thrift and the Salty Familia page. And I wanted to jump on here to talk about a little bit about an eBay experience that I recently had. As you all know, we do have various areas where we sell items that we do purchase from our storage lockers. Those items are kind of broken up, either flea market, or they go to Goodwill, Poshmark, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace. So everything kind of breaks up, and we try to, sell them in these various areas. What I did experience with eBay was a camera that I sold. It wasn't a vintage camera. It was pretty modern, Nikon camera. I even had an offer that came in from the buyer. It was, pretty fair offer. I accepted. I did bubble wrap the camera, packed it very well. It was about 30 cents off to be a priority shipping because the buyer had selected Advantage. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send it priority. That way they get it a little bit faster. Did do that. I even took it to the post office. I didn't schedule a pickup like I normally do. I was like, I'll just drop it off at the post office. That way it can go out pretty quick. 2 weeks went by. I didn't hear back from the buyer. The week after, I received a message saying, hey, I wanted to reach out to you because your camera has a crack on the lens and it looks like it's been dropped. I'm like, what? Like, there's no way. So before I answered, I went back to the pictures that were still on my phone, took a look at them. I'm like, yeah, there's no crack. There's no damage. There's no way I dropped it because everything was bubble wrap and I even secured it inside the package so it doesn't bounce around or anything. So I messaged back. I'm like, hey, thank you for reaching out. If there's an issue with the camera, you're more than happy to return it because I do have the return policy if something's wrong. I did mention once it's received, I will go through the camera, make sure everything is as shipped, meaning that I want to make sure it's the correct camera. I want to make sure all the components are still with the camera and the lens is the correct lens that was coming with the camera. I received a message back instantly saying, why do you treat me like this? I feel insulted. I am going to make you pay for this. That was the reply back. And I'm like, hey, I'm just being honest. I just want to make sure I get my item back in the condition that I sent. And that way I can check, say, if we missed out where the crack was or where the damage was. But I'm 100% sure there was nothing on there. I looked at my pictures, everything was right. The reply back was, well, I just received the camera back and I was told it was cracked. I messaged back, hey, I noticed you said you received the camera back. Did you resell it? The reply back was, yes, I did. And I got it back and it's cracked. I'm like, so you're trying to return it back to me? And there was a lot of back and forth. I'm like, you're trying to return it back to me because the other person damaged it and now you want your money back because this was your error. And that's when it started. Oh, you're just harassing me. First thing he did was leave me a negative feedback, saying I was very controversial with him, her or her. Uh, I was like, wow, negative feedback already. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just wait for my item back. He continued to message me saying, I'm going to make sure you never sell on eBay again. Something sort of like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to contact eBay. This was a Saturday, so I couldn't contact eBay until Monday because if you contact them during the week, you're just going to be back and forth and you're not really going to get anywhere. So come Monday morning, I contact eBay. I speak with the representative, kind of told them, hey, this is what's going on. First they say, oh, you got to refund them and you have to wait for your item. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at the messages. Look at the messages, read the messages, and then get back to me and see if you can read what they were just telling me. I was on hold for a good 20, 25 minutes, and most of you have called eBay customer service knows eBay takes a long time to get back to you because they either are checking the messages or took another call and they're getting back to you. And this happens all the time. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And finally, the person gets back on the line and says, hey, so sorry for you waiting. Let me go ahead and check those messages now. So another 15 minutes go by. Person comes back on the phone and says, hey, I did check the messages. Yes, I do see where the person says he or she resold it, got the item back, and now they're trying to return it back to me. So immediately he says, yeah, we're going to go ahead and file a claim. This is going to be on your behalf because you didn't do anything wrong. The person is, trying to pull a fast one. Luckily, I had the pictures of the item when I sent it, and the pictures were still up on eBay. I did contact the other party one more time, letting him know, hey, please ship my item back. No response. Luckily, the person did ship the camera back when I received it, because eBay told me, well, you're going to have to accept that return. Oh, that's fine. But they blocked the refund. So the refund was not going to go through. It was blocked. The person returned the camera back to me. I checked it. And indeed, it did have a crack. It looked like it was dropped, but it was not the lens that I sent over. Looks like they had pulled a switcheroo and put a different lens on there and tried to pull a fast one over with me. It happens. And, if you don't have the pictures, the information, or recognize the item that you sent over, you'll be in the world of hurt, because this was over $100. So over $100 on hold. I'm like, man, and it's something that was not my fault. I did get the camera, opened it. The bubble wrap that I shipped it in wasn't there. They put like some kind of foam inside, and the camera was kind of wiggling around. So I was like, you know what? Wherever. I got the camera back, called eBay, let them know, hey, I just received my camera. It's the correct camera, but the lens is different. It's not the lens that I sent over. They're like, oh, no worries. We're going to go ahead and refund me back. But they would have to open a case against the other party. So I'm not really sure what happens with the buyer, or if he has any, comeback or backlash or anything. It stays like that. I don't know. They don't tell you what happens after that. But I did get my money back. I did get my shipping back, which they don't normally do, but they did it out of courtesy. And I also got the feedback removed, the negative feedback, which was pretty long. I didn't know you can leave feedback pretty long, because you as a seller can't leave negative feedback. You can only leave positive feedback. So when I peeked at the other party to see their feedback, they had a lot of positive feedback, but every single one of those positive feedback was a negative comment saying, I can't leave a negative feedback because this person, blah, blah. But it was positive, but they were all negative, because you can't leave a negative feedback anymore. That's changed. So, it was just a nightmare. And this went on for a good 3 weeks before I got my money back. But it was a lot of back and forth with eBay. It was a lot of calling back to eBay. I kind of estimate, if you contact eBay, make sure it's between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Anytime after that, it's just nobody's going to answer. It just takes forever to a representative to answer from eBay. But they did resolve it. I have nothing against eBay, as long as they took care of me as a seller. I appreciate that. But you just got to be careful. You got to be careful what you sell. You got to make sure you take those correct pictures. Make sure you list it correctly. I've had experiences where, I missed that the box had wear. I just said used box, but I didn't put that the box had wear. I did get the buyer saying, hey, you didn't say that the box had wear. It's kind of like damage on the side. I'm like, it's used. He goes, yeah, but you didn't mention it had wear. I'm like, okay, my bad. It didn't go further from there. The buyer was pretty chill about it. They didn't pursue it. But they kind of open your eyes and you're like, you know what, next time I'm going to put it has a dent here, or it's warped over here, or it has water damage here. But most of the items that I sell, don't even come with that because I deal more with metals, toys, clothing. I don't deal with postcards, pictures, or anything like that. That's not something that I would sell. If it comes along and it looks like an interesting piece, yes, I would put it up. But if it's not something that I know would move fast enough, I'm not going to put it on there. And I know there's lots of channels out there that talk about eBay, that talk about their experiences. One channel that I do follow, I'm going to add their link on there because I think they do have a lot of good information, is Curious Collections with Will and Cinnamon. They do have a lot of items that they sell, stuff that I wouldn't even imagine that somebody will be interested in. But it is lots of cool items, and highly recommend their channel. They're pretty good. They talk about a lot of good stuff. And with me, I would say since I do various things, I can't say I'm 100% full time with eBay because I do have the other social medias where I sell and flea markets. But I'm kind of leaning towards maybe do it as full time or maybe not. It's just hard with eBay because you're not going to have a sale every day. It's going to be maybe one day you're lucky, the next day you're not, or a full week nothing sells and you're just stuck in a hole. Um, the way you list your items, I think it has a lot to do with it. Pictures, I've heard a lot. If you don't take a good picture, your item's not going to sell. It may or may not be true. I don't take the greatest pictures, but the item still sells. If your buyer wants the item, they're going to buy it regardless of what the picture looks like. As long as they get the item that they want, they're going to go ahead and purchase it. Descriptions, like I mentioned, try to describe it as best as possible. Make sure you put if it's dirty, if it has a hairline crack, used, if it's an action figure, loose on the joints or discoloration. Little stuff like that goes a long way, especially with collectors because they like to either say, hey, how much is it going to cost me to refurbish this item? Or I actually want it to look vintage. I want it to look, faded. And a lot of people look for different stuff, different ways the item is displayed. So, and that's good. I mean, that's good for you. I mean, if you don't have to, go a long way cleaning an item or polishing up a coin or anything like that, just post it as is. Polishing up coins, uh, I think I did it once, but that was because there was gunk, not exactly tarnish from the coin itself. It was just gunk, a little soap and water. I didn't add any of the polishing chemicals. If it's a old coin, I'm gonna post it as an old coin because that has a lot of value to it as is. Metals, same thing. I try to post them as they are. If they're a little bit faded, scratched, dirty, I want to post them the way that they're found because I think that credits a lot to that specific piece. And, you know, I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time, but I do want to post every Monday a little update on how the eBay store is going on our side. This is actually my first video, and I wanted to talk about the eBay horror, the returns. So if I get another return or have another horror story like that, I'll go ahead and add it. There is one more story that we do have, and this did happen to us, I would say, a couple years ago. I'm going to talk about that in the next video because I want to add my wife onto this horror story because we not only had calls from the specific person, we did have a visit to our house from the specific person. Uh, I'll let you guys know a little bit more on the next video on how that all happened, how they found out where we lived. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, we did have to get the police involved, but the matter resolved peacefully, thank goodness. But it was a little bit of madness. So I'll talk about that one on our next video. And like I said, I'm going to post every Monday. On our regular platform, as you can see, we post different stuff. We post so much different content. But if it's something regarding eBay, I'll make sure in the description, I'll add eBay. I'll add thrift, just to make sure you guys know when I'm uploading another eBay related, thrift related, resale related, topic. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday, a wonderful start of the week, and I'll see you on the next one.